Hello, I am Moorthy and I will be presenting our work on editing videos titled GAZED, Gaze Guided Cinematic Editing of Monocular Video Recording. Let us first look at a video recorded using a single static camera.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you. Kind of low key for what I usually do, but I love good songs. Here's a particularly good song by Rodney Crowell. Let me introduce the band here. This is J.T. Thomas here on the keyboards. And on the bass guitar, Will McGregor.
Videos recorded using single static cameras are good for archival purposes but are pretty monotonous to watch. On the other hand, professional editing services are not easily accessible due to high costs involved. We propose a method GAZED which automatically edits such videos recorded from single static camera. Let us take a look at how GAZED edits this video.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you. This is kind of low key for what I usually do, but I love good songs. Here's a particularly good song by Rodney Crowell. Let me introduce the band here. This is J.T. Thomas here on the keyboards. And on the bass guitar, Will McGregor.
Recent works employ eye-gaze data for the problem of video retargeting, which is meant to adapt an edited video to a target display with different aspect ratio. It is fundamentally different from our problem, which is editing by camera selection. Editing as camera selection is about choosing a shot which most vividly narrates the storyline at each time step. GAZED solves this by modeling shot selection as a discrete optimization problem. Let us take a look at this figure where the top row consists of frames from an input video. The second row consists of the set of all possible shots in the video. The third row consists of the edited sequence. GAZED selects the best possible shot at each time step, which is indicated by the red box. There are three steps involving editing with GAZED, namely the shot generation, estimating importance of each shot, and finally shot selection. More formally, GAZED minimizes the following objective function for shot selection, where the first term tells us about the importance of a shot and the second term refers to the editing costs for shot transition. The first step in GAZED is shot generation, also known as virtual camera simulation. Virtual camera simulation refers to mimicking the work of a professional cameraman using pan, zoom and cropping techniques on a video. Given an input video and the actor tracks, we generate the virtually simulated cameras, also known as rushes, using the method mentioned in this paper. Rushes having single actors are called one-shots, and similarly rushes having n actors are called n-shots. Based on the frame composition, a shot can be a medium shot, which is from head to torso, or a full shot, which is head from toes. So for example, in this figure, A, B, C are medium one shots and A, B, B, C, A, C are full two shots and A, B, C is a full three shot. For a scene with n actors, the set of all possible shots would be the power set of one shots. Let us look at how virtual camera simulation works by taking an example video.
Hello ladies. God damn it. Fiona? What are you doing here? Can't you tell we're trying to have a conversation?
Well, I heard you have a little crush on Damus.
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my sources. And I also...
This video shows us the different virtual cameras simulated for different actors generated by the algorithm previously mentioned. For simplicity, only one shots and three shots have been portrayed.
Hello, ladies.
God damn it. Fiona? What are you doing here? Can't you tell we're trying to have a conversation?
Well, I heard you have a little crush on Damus.
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my sources. And I also
The next step in GAZED is to determine the importance of a shot. There are multiple existing works which claim that gaze data recorded from users enable effective localization of focal scene events, and therefore we use it to model the importance of a shot. This video shows us how gaze captures the focal events in a video.
Hello, ladies.
God damn it. Fiona? What are you doing here? Can't you tell we're trying to have a conversation?
Well, I heard you have a little crush on Damus.
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my sources. And I also
Using the gaze tracks captured from different users, we model the importance of each shot in a bottom-up approach. We will refer to this shot importance measure as gaze potential from now on. We first estimate the gaze potential for all one shots and use them to compute the potential for higher shots. In this figure, the blue and orange rectangles are one shots and the green rectangle is the composite two shot. Concentration of gaze fixations near a shot elicit higher gaze potential, implying higher preference for a shot. Notice in this figure that with more or less even distribution of gaze fixations, a higher shot, which is the yellow one, has more gaze potential than the constituent lower shots. This makes sense in scenarios like group conversations where looking at the context is more meaningful than looking at each of the participants. Using these gaze potentials computed at each time step, we now select a sequence of shots with minimum total cost, which is our edited video. This selection process is as illustrated here. Now let us look at the edited version we have.
Hello, ladies.
God damn it. Fiona? What are you doing here? Can't you tell we're trying to have a conversation?
Well, I heard you have a little crush on Damus.
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my sources. And I also
In real situations, using just the method we stated may not give us such a refined result. For example, gaze tracking devices are quite sensitive to eye movement, which may lead our solution to a noisy edit with very frequent short transitions like in this video. Another problem with our approach are jump cuts. They give off an effect of jumping in time due to short transitions with high overlap. These are common when the transition is between two full shots. From this, we can see that preserving just the focal content is not enough, and following cinematic rules for editing, such as avoiding jump cuts and very frequent transitions, is necessary. We model these rules as additional costs, which brings us to the second term in our objective function, the editing costs. These costs pertain to transitions between two shots. To solve the problem of fast transitions, we introduced the short transition cost, which penalizes a transition and motivates short sustenance over time. Similarly, as high overlap between two transitioning shots causes a jump cut, we propose the overlap cost, which penalizes high intersection over union between the two shots. Here in this figure, the third frame has two highly overlapping shots, and therefore the overlap cost for them is very high. Now we repeat the process of shot selection after including these costs. The edited video would look something like this. We now have a robust method to select shots consisting of the focal events in a scene while adhering to editing principles. And now we would like to play around with the duration of each cut, as that plays an important role in how a scene is perceived by the audience. This is different from short transition cost, where we are just preventing fast transitions. Here we would like to direct the length of the cuts, thus creating a more engaging narrative. Rhythm cost is based on the duration of a shot. The function here, in more simple terms, adds a penalty such that the duration of a shot lies between L and M seconds. That is, a cut is prevented if the current shot duration is less than L seconds, and a cut is encouraged if the current shot duration is more than M seconds. The strictness of these rules lie with the scaling factors gamma 1 and gamma 2. Let us look at an example where the same video is edited with two different cutting rhythms.
J'ai fait 500 à Providence et 700 à Boston.
C'est vrai? Attends une seconde, je prends la
Ah, non, bon, j'ai bien dû compter. Hein. Alors, j'ai dû faire 180.
To examine if gazed video editing results in a vivid and engaging edit from a static video, we performed a user study with 12 users and 12 diverse video recordings. Each user was asked these specific 4 questions regarding a video they saw and had to respond with a score between -5 to 5. Narrative effectiveness is about how coherent the narrative of a scene is with respect to what is being shown. Scene action refers to what extent the focal actions or movements in a video are captured. Actor emotions correspond to how well the emotional expression of a scene in a video is. Viewing experience is then the overall experience of watching, ranging from the pacing in the video to its aesthetic expression. We compare gazed against 4 competent video editing baselines, namely random, wide, greedy gaze, and speaker based. Random baseline selects a random shot at constant intervals, whereas the wide baseline always selects the widest possible shot at a time stamp. The greedy gaze editing strategy selects the shot with maximum gaze potential at each instant. Greedy gaze selects the shot based on local optimum gaze potential at a time, whereas gazed performs a global optimization. Notice the fast nature of transitions and frequent jump cuts which ruin the viewing experience in greedy gaze baseline.
Lately, I'll say, swimming in circles, chasing her tail.
That girl is up to her gills in something.
Well, she's dizzy and she's dreamy.
Her head's up in the foam.
Her eyes have gone all gleamy. It's like there's no one home. She floats away the days, moping on the coastal shelf.
You ask her where she's going.
She giggles like a fool. She barely sticks a toe in down at the tidal pool.
It's more than just a thing.
Lately, I'll say, swimming in circles, chasing her tail.
That girl is up to her gills in something.
Well, she's dizzy and she's dreamy.
Her head's up in the foam.
Her eyes have gone all gleamy. It's like there's no one home. She floats away the days, moping on the coastal shelf.
You ask her where she's going.
She giggles like a fool. She barely sticks a toe in down at the tidal pool.
It's more than just a thing.
The speaker-based editing is a dialogue-driven strategy where the shot containing the speaker is preferred. When more than one person speaks simultaneously, their combined shot is preferred. This baseline conveys the narrative in a decent manner but fails to show the interaction between the speaker and their surroundings once in a while. Moreover, notice the jump cuts due to speakers being close by in the baseline.
I only have a 123-day streak with him. That's half as long. Listen, I don't know if either of you guys know this, but Davis is...
Shut it!
I only have a 123-day streak with him. That's half as long. Listen, I don't know if either of you guys know this, but Davis is...
Shut it!
A two-way balanced analysis of variance on the compiled scores confirm our hypothesis that incorporating gaze cues plus cinematic rules for shot selection would generate an engaging and vivid edited output. Gazed editing strategy scored the highest on all 4 attributes consistently. For more video examples of editing with gazed, please refer to our supplementary material. Thank you very much.